Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by theater director, producer, film and television actor, and now author. You've seen him in Manhattan Murder Mystery, The Good Wife, The Sopranos, and countless other efforts.
My whole life, you just went through my whole life.
His book, Too Funny for Words, takes the reader through 70 years of entertainment. We welcome the legendary Jerry Adler.
Thank you. How are you?
Absolutely great, Jerry. Let's go beyond the mic.
Great.
Your book has so many incredible moments, from the roles you wanted and didn't get, to the differences in the way the actors are treated. Why was it important to tell all these stories?
Oh, these are stories I used to tell to my family and friends when we had parties and things. And everybody kept saying, listen, you got to put this stuff down on paper for posterity. And I had no intention of doing it, actually. But when the pandemic came and I had nothing else to do, I was trapped in my apartment. I started putting this out, putting everything down on paper. But after a while, I realized I had a book here, and I kept going. Now I got a book. I had an actual book. I got one in the mail yesterday. It's unbelievable.
When you got it, when you got that hard copy, what did it feel like to hold it in your hand?
You hold it in your hand. Something that you haven't done your whole life. Nobody ever thought of it. Did you ever think of writing a book? I never thought of reading a book.
I've actually written two, but they're on a computer hard drive somewhere.
Good for you. Oh, that's great. See, it was a great feeling to actually have it.
What's the one story you wanted to put in, but you couldn't due to space?
There was one story I wanted to tell because I couldn't do it because I couldn't remember the name of the director that was in this story. So I couldn't use the story because I couldn't remember. I cannot remember this director's name. And I've looked him up, but I can't find him. And so I can't tell this story. The story about Arthur Miller, and I couldn't use this story because I can't remember the people. When you get to be my age, names are tough to remember.
Which of the legendary personalities you've worked with in your life amazed you on a totally different level?
Jack Benny.
Why?
You ever hear of Jack Benny?
Jack Benny is a legend.
Yeah. I did this, I guess it was a Broadway show with Jack Benny. He was going to do a one-man show on Broadway. And when I met him, he was in his 70s. It was a kind of a frail guy. He was tiny and kind of hard with his breath. And I was afraid he was not going to make get out on the stage for an hour every night and entertain the audience. He said, don't worry about me. When it's my turn to go on the stage, just tap me on the shoulder and I'll go out there. And of course, we started the show, the orchestra was playing, and he looked like he was going to fall over. This old guy. So I tapped him on the shoulder, and you wouldn't believe it. He was like 39 years old.
Wow.
He stood upright, smile, energy, and boy, he strode out onto that stage, and he killed the people. Unbelievable.
Jerry Adler's book is Too Funny for Words, and Jerry, it's time for the Rocky Native. All this is 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There's absolutely no pressure. Jerry, which Broadway musical is your favorite of all time?
My Fair Lady.
Best thing about your wife, Joan?
My wife? Hey, that's good. She's the one that took care of me when I was writing this book. She was the one that prodded me to keep going every day when, as a matter of fact, I lost I didn't even know how to use a computer. And she was helping me with everything. She became my secretary. Without her, never would have been, no way I could have done the book without her.
You've acted with just about every big name. Who's the one person you would have loved to have one scene with, do a show with, anything?
That I didn't do a show with?
Yes, sir.
Can't think of anyone. I don't know. I can't think of anybody. I met Marilyn Monroe, and I was hoping to do a play with her, but that didn't work out.
So what's your favorite deli in New York?
My favorite deli is Katz's down on 2nd Avenue.
Typical order?
The best corned beef in the world.
Nothing better than a good corned beef. Which is your favorite Broadway show to direct?
I directed a show called The Homecoming, which was a play that we brought over from England. That was my favorite.
Jerry, could you ever tap dance?
I never thought I was going to be in show business, but I was hoping to be in show business. I broke in through my father. My father was in the business, and Like father, like son. You usually wind up working in the industry that your father is in. I was the product of nepotism.
Jerry, which show didn't get the love you thought it deserved?
Oh, I did a show called Moby Dick Rehearsed by Orson Welles, which was a very interesting play. It was done in England and it was a big hit there. And I tell this wonderful story in the book of how I was trying to get the rights to do this play on Broadway. And the story is too long to do now, but I finally got the rights from Mr. Wells and did it on Broadway. It was a great, interesting play.
Oh, wow. What was the last TV show you watched?
I don't watch much television, actually. I like mysteries. I'm a big reader. I'm 95. My eyesight is not what it used to be, so I'm on Audible. I have these books read to me on Audible, which is fabulous.
Okay. When was the last book you heard?
The last book I heard was a book called The Word is Murder, by Manny Horowitz, an English author. The most complex, interesting mystery book I ever read. It was just wonderful.
It's time for One Big Question with Jerry Adler, his book, Too Funny for Words, Beyond the Mic. Jerry, what's your favorite memory in your life that isn't Hollywood or Broadway related?
I was named Honorary Doctor of Fine Arts at the University of Connecticut. I was part of this thing where we strode down onto the stage in our gowns and cap and gowns, and we gave a speech to the graduating class, and I became a Doctor of Fine Arts. So now, when they holler, is there a doctor in the house? That's me.
He doesn't know how to use a computer. Love the corned beef at Katz's Deli. I want you to read his book, Too Funny for Words. Jerry Adler, I laughed so hard reading this.
And you're going to love this book. If you want to laugh, if you really want to laugh. Did you laugh a lot?
Yes, I did. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
My pleasure, kiddos. Thanks. My pleasure. Be well. Nice being with you.
And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.